Uh, well, if that doesn't give it away, I don't know what will. Hey guys, I'm Joe, and I'm back with my review of Wonder Woman. I've been really quiet on the videos the last couple weeks. If you weren't following some of my social media pages, I had a really bad case of laryngitis, and it's still clinching on a little bit, so you might hear it in my voice as it still recovers. But it's gotten to the point where I feel like I can actually get a review out. So I'm letting you guys know that I am back. I'm still alive. I have not gone anywhere. And again, work has been pretty hectic the last couple weeks, so I haven't really had the time to get my reviews out as much as I wanted to. I'm going to continue my Spider-Man reviews, and I will start up on my original Star Wars trilogy reviews pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. But let's talk about Wonder Woman, directed by Patty Jenkins, starring Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, and a few others you may or may not recognize. This movie has been long in the making, and it's been talked about for the last 20 or so years. At one point, Joss Whedon was supposed to make it. Yeah, you can say that DC and Warner Brothers have been trying to get this in motion for a long time. And Wonder Woman's an iconic character, obviously, by now. I mean, before, she hasn't really had anything that really stood out as far as the cinematic stuff is concerned, but people know who Wonder Woman is, even before this movie came out. But as far as female-centered superhero films go, they haven't exactly been worthy of success, I guess. I mean, seriously, Catwoman. Yeah, that was bad. And Gal Gadot made her debut as Wonder Woman in Dawn of Justice last year, so looking back on it, she wasn't exactly a positive in my book, but she wasn't a negative either. So I was a bit like, on her, because we didn't really see enough of her to get a full picture of what she's like. And you guys may or may not know this, but for those of you who don't know, I haven't really been a big fan of how the DC Cinematic Universe has been going in the last couple of years. I didn't like Man of Steel that much, upon retrospect. Dawn of Justice, Go watch my review if you want to know what I thought of it. Suicide Squad, again, go watch my video. If you guys like them, that's fine. I don't care, but I haven't really been impressed, personally. It's not because of Marvel. I want DC to be good. I want them to put out some good movies, and they have put out some good stuff in the past. The Dark Knight trilogy, the Flash TV show, or at least the first season and most of season 2. First 2 seasons of Arrow have been pretty good. You get the idea. They haven't really stood out most of the time. So Wonder Woman, there was a lot riding on this, and I was hoping and praying that this was going to be a good one. And even though I wasn't really impressed by the trailers, and some people, I'm not going to say who, thought Gal Gadot was a terrible actress. Well, we'll get more to that later, but walking into the theater last night, I was literally going like this: please be good, please be good, please be good, please be good. Wonder Woman's good, guys. Wonder Woman's good. The DCEU is a good movie. It felt so great! Now, hold on a minute. This is not the best comic book movie since The Dark Knight, as people are making it out to be. I think people are going a little too overboard with that, and I've only seen it one time, so I have to think about it. But the more I think about it, the more I actually appreciate it and respect it, and I don't know, it's hard to get the right words out, I guess, as far as like what hasn't already been said before. But I was very impressed with it, and I didn't think I was gonna like it that much. It's colorful when it's there. It's got a mostly grayish, dark tone to it, but considering the time period that it's set in World War I, it makes more sense in that regard. Diana Prince, aka Wonder Woman by Gal Gadot, she's filled with hope, optimism, and a very fierce spirit that wants to help other people. And since we're talking about her, Gal Gadot proves to be an excellent choice for the character. I don't know the character that well outside of this movie or Dawn of Justice. Some other people might know her in the comics or whatever, but I can't really see anybody else playing her. She looks the part, and she's got the physicality down. The emotions, I was afraid that she wasn't going to come off very convincing, but when it was there, I bought it. She didn't look like she was faking it or anything, and I guess from the trailers, all I really saw from her was this kind of face. Like a resting, pale face or something, I don't know. But that's not the full picture. When she gets the emotions down, she nails it. Gal, if you're watching this somehow, wonderful job. Pun intended, but seriously, great job. And Steve Trevor, played by Chris Pine, actually proves to be a very complimentary male counterpart for Diana Prince. Chris Pine, I've seen him in the Star Trek movies by J.J. Abrams and the recent one by Justin Lin. And outside of that, like movies like Unstoppable or whatever else, I haven't really seen him do much else besides being Captain Kirk 2.0 for some reason. In this movie, while he's not absolute Oscar worthy, thankfully he's not Captain Kirk all over again. He's thrown into this world on the island where Diana Prince lives, where it's all women and it's very ancient-like. He's practically a fish out of water, as it's been said by other people. And the way he responds to this is like, I don't get any of this. And Diana has a similar response when she goes to London seeing Steve Trevor's world. She's like, what is all this? What's all this? What's all this? And Gadot and Pine's chemistry, on point. If those two didn't work on screen, the movie would have completely failed. I don't really know how else to say this, but those two hold this movie together. And while it's not the best superhero movie I've seen, it's very straightforward plot and very simple in its execution. I don't really care because I found it very natural and effective. And as I said, with its sense of hope and optimism, Gal Gadot brings a sense of awe and wonder and excitement to her character, which kind of reminded me of Christopher Reeve as Superman, and I'm a Spider-Man fan, so just bear with me here. With her sense of awe and wonder, I kind of saw it as a little bit of Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker in Spider-Man 1, when he's discovering his powers. She's got a little bit of those things thrown in there, and, well, some people tend to find that character very cheesy and outdated or so. And not to bring Marvel up into this, but if Captain America can do that and sound awesome, there's no reason why you can't do that with other characters. Not every character has to be like that, but not everybody has to be brooding and dark like Batman. This is a much needed breath of fresh air in some ways. I'm so glad that Patty Jenkins was able to bring a sense of energy into this film, and with this character that a lot of mainstream audiences don't even really know that much about. And something that I was really scared that was going to happen, considering that this is a female-centric superhero film, I was worried that Wonder Woman was going to come off as like a Mary Sue kind of character, a woman who's absolutely perfect. She's got no vulnerability whatsoever. She can do everything, and someone who kind of looks down on guys because they're men or whatever. I didn't want to sit through a movie like that where it would make me feel like crap because I'm a guy. They didn't do that here. They actually complement each other. They show that Steve Trevor is actually a very capable person of holding himself together in a dangerous situation, as well as Diana Prince. It's complementary. There's not one moment where Wonder Woman looks at the camera and says, well, I can do this better because I'm not a guy. Because you don't really need that kind of stuff. It's unneeded. It shows that Wonder Woman can be an example for not just young girls, but also for young boys, since she gives the example of compassion and love for others. I don't remember who the composer is for the score for Wonder Woman, but the score is actually really cool, and I wasn't really a big fan of the Wonder Woman theme in Dawn of Justice, but I have to say, I found myself humming it a few times. Yeah, now I just did it, it's gonna be stuck in my head all night. And the rest of the cast does a really good job too. I don't want to get too specific into spoilers, but they're all really good. And I like the whole setting of World War I. You don't really see that very often when it comes to like a war film. Yes, there's been other World War I films in the past, but considering the dark and dreary tone that this film has in some large segments, it makes more sense as to why this movie has a very downbeat tone, because World War I was supposed to be the war to end all wars, and it was very catastrophic for its time. The poisonous gas, the trench warfare, no man's land, and so on. Not to mention the action in this film is really awesome. Although, there's some slow-mo effects that are cool to look at, but after a while, I think it's a little overindulged in some cases, but nevertheless, it's still really cool. As far as any negatives are concerned, the slow-mo effects I think are a little bit overdone. The villains, similar complaint with most of the Marvel movies. The villains are underdeveloped here, or I would say in this case, a little bit too hammy for my liking. If I ever do a spoiler video, I will go more in depth into that. All in all, at the end of the day, I really enjoyed Wonder Woman. Again, I wouldn't say it's the best comic book movie that we've seen in a while since The Dark Knight. I think people are, again, going a little too overboard with that. But as far as DC movies are concerned, not just DCEU stuff, this, I would say, is definitely the best outing for this franchise, but I think it's the best DC film since The Dark Knight Rises. Yes, naysayers, I love Dark Knight Rises. Deal with it. I really liked Wonder Woman, and I'm very pleased that it turned out to be a good one. And if anything, for Justice League, I will go see it for Wonder Woman alone. So what are your thoughts on this, guys? Did you like Wonder Woman? Think it's alright, or did you hate it? Whatever the case is, I don't really see many people hating this one. But whatever your thoughts are, comment below and tell me what you thought of it, and I'll see you guys next time.